what else are the Ninja Turtles known for?
Pizza.
Yep. So I'm like, he's got to be eating a slice
Yeah.
of pizza. I mean, a slice of freaking pepperoni pizza, he's got to be eating it.
We inspire, we create, we transform art into a journey. We are Parlor number 13.
Welcome back to Talk Parlor number 13. I'm Adam,
And I'm Jordan.
and we're here to talk about last week's Roll for Art Flash Challenge.
Awesome.
But first, we're going to kick it off with our segment of...
Recap.
In this segment, we'll discuss last week's results and who won the challenge. So, Jordan, why don't you kick us off with what the challenge was?
Yeah, so last week we hit realism in a Dodge Challenger Hellcat with a warm color palette and alcohol markers. Adam ended up taking home that win for the challenge. Super awesome design, super rad design. And yeah, were you happy to move on from it?
Oh, I absolutely think so.
Yeah,
I mean,
me too.
I did have fun with it. I more so than you did. I know you were absolutely ecstatic to get that one over with and on to the next one.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, I had fun with it overall.
Yeah.
I mean, and honestly, not to brag, but that was the second surrealism challenge I've won.
Mhm.
So maybe I'm not as bad at surrealism as I think.
Right,
you know?
yeah.
So anyway, that's that. Let's move on to this week's challenge and
Awesome.
what the dice granted us with. You wanna
Yeah,
explain
so for this week we had to do New School Turtle in a cool color palette and an acrylic paint. This was our second New School challenge and our second acrylic paint with New School. So that was that was
wild.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. How'd you feel about what the dice gave us?
I instantly had an idea in my head as soon as we rolled it. So I was pretty excited. Of course, I get excited about New School anyway because it's just, I love being able to play around with exaggerated shapes. There's, out of all the different styles that we do, I feel like this is the one that is the most loose.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, that's fair.
You have the most freedom with it.
Right.
And I get so ecstatic and so excited every time that we roll New School because it's just, you're not beating yourself up over this has got to be perfect or this has got to be this way or you got to do it this way or it's got to be done like this.
That's fair.
Have freedom with it.
Right.
And so when New School comes up, I love it.
Yeah.
It's just, it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I love about it. It's fun. You get to use vibrant colors, even though, you know, we're stuck in a color palette.
Right, but it's different because you can add your own finesse, you know?
Right. And you know, we talked about that on our first one with the monochrome. You know, even though it's monochrome and you don't really get to use bright colors monochrome, it still felt bright.
Right, exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
So that was cool. Anyway, how did you feel about it?
I was just really excited to get into something that we hadn't done in a while. It felt like we had been, on kind of the realism kick and the surrealism and then the alcohol markers, and then I was just really stoked to hop into something new, that we hadn't done since month one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was really stoked about it and was really excited to start this challenge.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. So yeah, I guess with that being said, did you do any research for yours or?
No, I actually didn't do any research at all this week. No documentaries or anything. I guess the most research that you could call research that I did for this was I had to refresh myself on what the Jedi symbol was from Star Wars. That's it. How about you? Any research on yours?
You know, I feel like New School is one of those areas where you really don't have a whole lot of research.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
It just kind of depends on what you'd want to learn about it
Yeah.
or stuff, you know?
Exactly, that's what I was going to say. Looking back on it, maybe I could have thrown something up that
Right.
would have, kind of explained to me, how did New School come about? Where did it originate from?
Yeah,
Who were some of the main, artists maybe that kind of kicked it off? But,
yeah,
really, I didn't do that because I just didn't have a lot of time this week.
right.
There's certain things that I have going on outside of this and outside of work that have taken up a lot of my time. So
Mm-hmm.
research wise, I just really didn't. I mean, to put it simply, I really didn't have a lot of time to research. Uh, and if I did, that's probably where I would have gone to, is just kind of researching, how did the style come about?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Right.
to this day, I still don't know how style come about. I know it plays off of some, American traditional
Yeah, I was
type
gonna
stuff,
say I think it plays off of American traditional, if I
and
remember correctly.
some neo-traditional stuff. I think it kind of pulls from both areas. I could be totally wrong, could be totally speaking outside of that, but I feel like the way when you look at new school, it's got very bold lines.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of your American traditional. Uses very bright colors, kind of, that hits your neo-traditional. So I feel like it's, and then you exaggerate the shapes,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like that's really what sets it apart from those other two styles.
Right.
So, it's just it's fun to work in, but as far as research, yeah, I didn't really do much.
Right on. Awesome.
So
Awesome.
design phase, I feel like you're pretty excited about
I'm
this.
so excited to talk about my design phase. It's a very um just it was just super cool. So whenever we first initially rolled Turtle, um and I was even talking to you, it was like in the back of my mind, just what I was thinking about doing. I was like, I do like a Dr. Turtle or something, just something. And then later on as that progressed, I was like, wait, hold on, and I was like, this is actually super special to me. So I have a brother that passed away a long time ago, and he loved turtles and Star Wars. Those were top tier stuff for him. So I really wanted to merge those two things together, and I absolutely love the concept that I came up with. So I started designing this on my iPad, just drawing, during some downtime. And first, initially, I designed his face, and really wanted that super cute, exaggerated eyes
Hmm.
look for this particular type of water turtle. Um, and this is a water turtle that we actually had as a pet growing up, had him for years and years. So that was super, super awesome. Uh, so I wanted to take Mr. Turtle was the turtle's name and exaggerate him into my guy here, the Padawan of the pond. So I have I designed his face, and then I just started, putting that on paper and designing the body and putting him on the lily pad. And things just really started falling into place. I really love the design that I came up with this, and I just wanted there to be kind of a serenity, calmness to it. And I am just so thrilled with how everything just it just everything became cohesive with this design. And yeah, yeah, that's where it came from. It's just a really cool, relatable project for me. And I would love to show it to him. If only I could show it to him, that would be so neat. Because I definitely think it would be something that he would absolutely love and fall in love with. Um, I wanted that classic stripe for the water turtle. And yes, we are doing a cool color palette, but I went ahead and threw in the red ear that is super classic for water turtles as well. Um, and I just love it. I feel like that really showcased what this turtle is without question, and that was nice. Hmm. Um, the lily pad, I wanted almost like, I was also kind of thinking, because during my design phase, I added robes also, and I hated how it looked with the robes, and I could not finesse it enough to give it that Jedi feel, um, without covering the shell. I I really didn't want to do that. I did not want to cover the shell and only have the head available. So I ended up ditching the robe idea, placed them kind of like on a at a Buddhist style almost on the lily pad. And I was just thinking that works. I love how that looks. I really think that this style can come together then. Um, After that, started working on the background. And like I said before, I wanted that calmness, serenity to it. So threw in a night sky background, the cute little pond, and just started adding the color. And adding the color just really brought everything to life. How about you in your design phase?
I do want to point out one other thing because I
Mhm.
really loved it when you did it was um what made you decide to do the other little lily pads in the background? Because I felt like that really it really tied the background
Yeah.
in
It ties a
with
scene.
yeah,
Mhm.
it tied the background in with the lily pad that your turtle's sitting on. So,
Right.
um, to me, I felt like that was such a great um move by you artistically.
So for that, I just really felt like this space right here of the pond was just kind of bland, and
Mhm.
you have these cute ripples over here and in this lily pad, and then I wanted to show that there was an area. Does that make
Oh
sense?
yeah,
This is in an
absolutely.
area. There is a scene, and so with the little lily pads in the background, I was just thinking, what else could I put that really kind of pushes a little bit more distance,
Hmm.
um, to make it all make sense. So yeah, that's why I just threw those little guys in there. They're not outlined or anything. It's just the shape and then a couple little lotus flowers on top to just complete the scene.
Yeah.
You know?
Something that you are incredible with is is water. You have a real talent with working with water
Oh, thank you.
because if you go back to the challenge, the impressionist challenge
Oh yeah.
where you made the water so chaotic
I
and it
love
was
that.
just, crashing up against the boat and you had the monster coming out making those huge waves. But then here you have just these subtle little ripples and it gives not this chaos feel,
Mhm.
but a super calming feel.
Yeah, it is. It is so calming, and thank you for that. And I can thank Adam for that as well because there towards the end, well, it was kind of funny. We were on the phone together, and
Hmm.
you were like, "You know what you should do?" And then here I am, and I'm like, "What is it?" He's like, "You should take just a white pen and just outline those ripples a little bit." And I was like, "Man, that's exactly what I'm doing right now."
Yeah.
And I just started doing it just as he was speaking about it. So good, just good design work on both of us this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
thank
I
you.
love
Thank you
it.
very much for that comment. Another thing that I did that I feel like was a good smart design was the stars. I added just two, a big star and a little star, shining stars.
Hmm.
There's a ton of stars in this, but shining stars. I just wanted to add one that it almost gives the illusion that that might be like what he's looking at,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
And then I just wanted to add one that you can tell is behind him. There is an area here. This is a destination.
It
There's a
pushes him
big night
forward.
sky. Exactly. It pushes him forward and it completes a scene.
Right.
And that's one thing that I personally have enjoyed learning about as an artist the last couple of years is completing a scene.
Right.
Top to bottom, side to side, everything fits together. There's a reason it's there.
Yeah.
Every move is intentional.
Tell me one other time. You told me yesterday,
Hmm.
but the little the little symbol on his chest. That is such a cool little just tidbit of detail
Yeah.
that unless you're a Star Wars fan, you're not going to understand it,
Right.
but it is the fact that it's so small yet so legible. You
Hmm.
did a phenomenal job
I
with it.
was actually so scared to do that little guy because I thought about doing it on his whole chest.
Mhm. I'm so
Hmm.
glad you didn't.
And I'm really glad I didn't too. I think it
Yeah.
would have taken
It would have taken
away.
away from him.
I think it would have taken away from the turtle definitely. So I just looked up what the Jedi symbol was to refresh myself on what the Jedi symbol was, and I was like, man, it's kind of a little intricate
Yeah.
little thing. Okay. So, yeah, I just went in with a pencil and just kind of sketched it out and then took the brush and just like swiped down from where the wings are, and then a really thin line going up and then just the thinnest little teensiest bits of the little Jedi star right there. And then I was like, that's it. It doesn't need anything else, no extra nothing. It's eligible. If you know what Star Wars is, you can see it, you can read it. And even if you don't know what Star Wars is, lightsabers have become universal. You
Right.
can tell that's a lightsaber. This symbol probably definitely means something to go along with the lightsaber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think you did a phenomenal job with it.
Thank you so
It's
much.
I love it. Your artistic choices are spot on in my opinion. Sticks with the cool color palette. I mean, you could, in my opinion, I think you did a heck of a job.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And then also, really quick, with the speaking on the design phase as well, one thing that I liked that you actually gave me the idea for was beforehand, I did not have this amount of darkness in the background.
Mm-hmm.
And then you were like, do you think that you should just, kind of black out that sky a little bit? And I was like, no, because I really want those colors to pop. But then I went in with some phthalo blue and some purple, and then just a touch of black and kind of made a more deeper galaxy feel and just brought it in from the edges, but I didn't touch anything around his head.
Right.
I wanted that to kind of be a little bit more luminescent and I feel like it
Kind of highlight
flows.
him.
Yeah,
Yes.
it kind of highlights
I
him
agree.
and
I
just
agree.
helps with that serenity
It's
feeling.
almost as if the moonlight is just shining right on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I love it. I
I
was
do
so in
too.
love with this.
Yep. I think
Yep.
you did an awesome job.
All right, let's hear about your man, Donatello.
Donatello.
Yeah.
Turtle power. So, I initially had a completely different design in my mind.
As it goes.
Yep, as it goes. I initially, well, for starters, I was like, okay, turtle. Like, I'm gonna do a sea turtle.
Mhm.
Why not do a sea turtle? Um, because it's like, uh, I love saltwater. I had one at one time, saltwater fish tank, and my
Yeah.
favorite little fish I put in there was clownfish, and so I was like, I'm gonna do sea turtle with clownfish and some seaweed, maybe a couple of
Mhm.
seashells. Just have fun with it.
Yeah.
And I thought it was gonna. I mean, not that it's not a great idea, but I thought it was a fun, cool little idea
Oh,
that
yeah,
you
I
could
think it
really mess with.
Mhm.
Exaggerating the shapes on the fish, on the turtle, on the seashells. I mean, you could exaggerate everything about
Yeah.
that drawing. And as I stated, I had very long weekend
Mhm.
doing some side work, so I didn't have a lot of time. And I had some stuff going on Monday that I got done with early, and I come home and you can ask Jordan. I was freaking out about this thing. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't understand how I'm even going to get it done because
Mhm.
Monday I'm literally sitting down to start sketching this thing.
Right.
And Jordan's like, "Don't worry about it. You've said this in the past." She said, There's one thing you're great at. It's getting something on paper quick and
Mhm.
doing a good job of it." And so I was like, "Okay, thank you." I kind of just getting out of my head about it. And I get home, I sit down, and I start drawing this sea turtle. And I'm just like,
Not about it.
not feeling it.
Mhm.
And so I set my pencil down, and I'm sitting there thinking, and I'm like, man, what could you do that makes sense? And I'm like, oh my gosh, you freaking used to love Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
And your favorite Ninja Turtle was Donatello, who happens to wear purple bandana, purple belt. I mean,
It's
you
kind of
could
perfect. Yeah.
ask for a better color palette right off of Jump
Right.
Street. Green, purple, it's beautiful.
Mhm.
So, I was just, man, I went to town and I started sketching him out. I found a drawing, a little deal on the internet that I used as inspiration, just kind of like his pose in general, but it looked completely different from this.
Mhm.
And yeah, I just, I exaggerated the face a little bit more, exaggerated the eyes a little bit more. I'm like, yeah, purple is his color, and I could have just left him at purple, but I'm like, he's got to have his staff. I mean,
Yeah.
they call it a bow. He's got to have his bow. I mean, it's, that is classic Donatello.
Mhm.
And I'm like, but I don't want it to be like super long like it is in the original cartoon. I want it to be
Right.
short. I want it to be funky looking,
Yeah. Fit with the
with
page,
the, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, what else are the Ninja Turtles known for?
Pizza.
Yep. So I'm like, he's got to be eating a slice of
Yeah.
pizza. I mean, a slice of freaking pepperoni pizza. He's got to be eating it.
Right.
Technically, I think they really like cheese pizza, if I'm not mistaken. But I was like, pepperonis. I felt like it was going to read a little better.
Mhm.
So I was like, just went with the pepperonis. Um, and I was talking to Jordan because I was a little apprehensive about what I was going to do with his tongue because I knew I wanted him, to just be smiling and enjoying
Right.
his
Yeah.
pizza,
Yeah.
And she's like, "Don't worry about it. Just put the red in there." I put the red on the ear for my turtle.
Mhm.
She's like, when you're making,
Hmm.
what'd you call it?
Finish.
Anatomical
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
decisions
Yeah.
that breaking away from whatever color palette we're working in
Right.
to highlight those
If you
areas.
need that one thing that has to be that color. I mean, because it'd be odd if his tongue was blue, or if his tongue was green, it'd be like, it's kind of too much green, or if his tongue was purple, it'd kind of clash against the color that you chose for the pizza.
Right.
But if you need that one thing, that anatomical correct decision, just go ahead. It's
Yeah.
okay. It's done in a cool color palette,
And it was odd
Yeah.
that we both had to do red.
Right. Yeah.
I thought that
Yeah.
was kind of interesting. Um, so then the rest of it was just really playing around with the color palette. Like, the shell I struggled with so much, believe it or not, because I'm like, I started with one color, like I don't like that color. So then I let it
Yeah.
dry and I put another color on there. I'm like, I really don't like that color either.
Right.
So there's like literally 3 layers of colors on that shell
That's
before
great.
I finally got to I felt like, okay, that looks pretty decent. I'm happy with it. Um, and just playing around with just different hues of blues and purples and going in and highlighting certain areas. To me, I tried to have as much fun with it as I could in the shortest amount of time that I
Yeah.
could.
Yeah.
Because that was the key thing. I wanted to have fun with it. Um, one other thing I knew I wanted to do was have these kind of like graffiti style lettering on there that
Mhm.
said turtle power.
I like that a lot. I think that was such a fun way to just amp it up a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And it felt like it was cute and fun. And um, the background, I was struggling with what to do with the background, and I'll touch on it later because we
Mhm.
have a different segment for a collaboration. But yeah, I'll get into the background later. But eventually with some help, I come up with had the background, and I think the background really really works in this. Um, when I first was thinking about it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is like it's gonna take me forever, and then
Mhm.
you know come up with a way to make it not take forever.
Right.
But
What did you end up naming him? Or his name's Donatello.
yeah, his name's
But
Donatello.
what'd you end up naming your piece? You want to
Uh,
jump into your artist
Yeah,
statement?
I just named it Turtle Power. I
Turtle
mean,
power.
can't go wrong with it, right? I mean, it's
Right.
part of the song, so part
Right.
of the intro song to the original. I haven't watched the new ones because, to be honest with you, the new ones. I feel like they've gotten so far away
Yeah.
from what it was back when I was a kid growing
Yeah.
up on Saturday
Classic. You
mornings.
just
Yeah,
can't beat classic.
no, and maybe that's it. Maybe it's just I'm
Mhm.
so used to, and I grew up with all the movies and everything, and I've just
Right.
changed them so much.
Right.
So you know, really, I just went back to my childhood with the cool color palette, and I put a new school twist on something that was nostalgic.
Mhm.
Um, and it just so happened to be that he was one of my favorite cartoon characters from Saturday morning. So
Yeah.
I was just like, uh, how could you go wrong with that?
Yeah.
How can you go wrong with going back to childhood and
Mhm.
and making a play off something from your childhood?
Yeah.
I mean,
Definitely.
not much of an artist statement, just more about what I felt like about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, how about you?
So for me, I kind of have the same. Not much of an artist statement, just more along the side of feelings. So he is the Padawan of the pond, and I just love it so much. Like I mentioned before, it really captures calmness and serenity, and playing with the cool color palette was so good. And I just wish that I could show my brother this because I just know that he would love it. Um, it was just such a fun challenge, and it was really exciting to play with those colors and push, distance and foreground and background and everything. It just all tied in really, really well
Very
together.
nice. Well,
Yeah.
what do you like most? What did you like most about this challenge?
Probably the design phase.
Yeah.
Honestly, you know, painting is always fun. I love painting.
Glad you
Um,
like it.
yeah, I always say I'm not a painter, but it is fun. You know, if you haven't painted in a while, you should do it.
Yeah.
But the design phase was so much fun. I really had such a nice time drawing this little guy out. Hmm.
What did
um,
what what do you like most about your completed drawing?
I think what I like most is it's not really a glow, but just how bright my turtle's face and shell are. It really portrays a sort of separation and texture,
Yeah.
maybe. And then also kind of helps enhance the glow that is from the lightsaber. Um, I really am stoked that I was able to capture a bit of brightness in such a dark image. As you mentioned before, it's like the moonlight shining on him, you
Right.
know, but I was able to capture that without putting a moon in the sky. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
absolutely.
Or like with our fish new school challenge that we had before. Um, Before I kind of had to capture some sort of light source, I put a spotlight in there.
Mhm.
You know, this one I just really feel like the piece is centered, and I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I'd say that that's my favorite part is just capturing that brightness. I also love this little man's eyes, and I really love how I was able to capture the stripes that's on this type that's on this type of water turtle without like going in with the hard yellows and hard blacks and
Right.
stuff that's
Right.
actually on said water turtle.
The last question I have for you, and I'm pretty
Mhm.
sure I know the answer to it. I'm assuming you connected very well with this
Oh
piece,
my
unlike
gosh.
last week, where
Yeah.
I know you struggled
Yeah.
with connection on your
Right.
last week's piece.
And
So
that's what I mentioned, I think, in our last podcast as well, is whenever I was just drawing that surrealism drawing and I had the road, I had the mirror, I had the filigree, feel like I couldn't agree more that it was just a nice image whenever I had it just like that. And then I start adding this car and I'm like, I'm not a car gal, you know,
right,
it's like that's what a neat Hellcat, you know, but I could care less. It's really hard to relate to something like that, and then it's just kind of pushes it kind of gives me a little bit of block with the design. This right here, I it was so relatable to me, and I could just have fun with it and just kind of this design for me was a breath of fresh air,
yeah.
you know, compared to what we have been doing lately.
Well, I mean,
And
we've been kind of through a grind here lately.
yeah, we have, we really have. Life has been busy. um Stuff has been going down, you know, we've had technical equipment issues also. Um, new mediums. I'm still sick. And yeah, so working on this and just being able to, you know, go in my office and just sketch this out. It was just so neat. It was so
Yeah,
cool. Much more relatable. I was able to connect with everything a lot more. I also thoroughly enjoy Star Wars so much. Um, so that was just cool. It was really neat to be able to put something that I have memories with together.
right.
You know, even my brother and I, he had this video camera, and we would make little short films together of
That's
the
cool.
turtle and little Jedi figures, and it was just so much fun. So it was very
Well,
relatable.
and I think when you can put those things together
Mhm.
into a drawing, it elevates a drawing to a point where it's hard not to relate. It's
Yeah.
hard not to connect. I mean, how would you never not be able to connect with that?
Right.
You know, because it's just pulling memories from your childhood, and it means a lot to you at the
Yeah,
end of the day.
exactly,
And
exactly.
we're gonna have challenges that don't mean anything to us, and I would say that's gonna be, not that they don't mean anything to us because we're out here doing this because we want to do it, but you know, when you get to something that's so sentimental such as that,
Yeah,
you cannot replace that.
definitely. Do you feel like yours was really relatable enough to where it enhanced your design?
I do. I that was the sole reason I changed up my design,
Mhm.
was based on what you experienced last week. And within the first 15 minutes of drawing that sea turtle and realizing, hey, I'm not connecting with this and I'm not going down this
Yeah.
road. I'm gonna stop right now
Yeah.
before I put any more on paper.
And
And
sometimes you just have to do that,
and
you
I'm
know?
I'm gonna sit here until I figure out what it is that I'm gonna connect with, that I'm gonna have fun to do, because I have to do that, because I've only got a limited number of hours between
Mhm.
now and Wednesday to get
Right.
this done. And if I can't connect with it, it's never gonna get done.
Yep.
And so is it relatable? Absolutely, it's relatable to me, because me and another cousin of mine, man,
Can
Kenny,
Yep.
we spent a lot of time as kids together, and Saturday mornings, we was up watching Saturday morning cartoons, and
Mhm.
that was, Ninja Turtles was one of them that was on there, and I fell in love with them as a kid. I mean, they were everything to me,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, as I'm sure they were with a lot of 80s kids,
Yeah.
I mean,
I
I
know that Mark would love yours too,
yeah,
you know?
you
Yeah.
know, as far as what did I like the challenge? I love the challenge. Like you
Mhm.
said, it was a break from the grind that we've
Yeah,
been
and it was
going through
a
with these
breath of fresh
challenges,
air.
a breath of fresh air. Um, just being able to get out and have fun with it. Not saying that we don't have fun with some of the other stuff that we've done,
Right.
but when some of the other stuff is so
Mm.
very technical, it can become mind numbing,
Yeah,
is the
exactly.
best way to put it.
Right.
When
Right.
you're sitting there for 12, 14, 15, 16, 17 hours,
Mhm.
obviously
Combined.
not combined,
Yeah.
yes, combined, not all at once. Um, it hurts sometimes your head.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know, I can't imagine some of these artists out here that are working days and weeks and months and years on certain
Right.
projects.
Like, I like to stand up, I like to go outside.
Yeah, yeah. So to get something like this, the challenge was amazing, and I think it come at the perfect time. It
Mhm.
provided a perfect break.
And I think that the thing that really helped this week is that, the last 2 weeks we used alcohol markers,
Yes.
and we learned that alcohol markers, you really have to layer everything.
Hmm.
So one spot, if you're shifting from left to right or top to bottom or bottom to top, um, you're in that spot for ever,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
It's like
Absolutely.
1 hour right here, 1 hour right here, 1 hour right here, but really you have hardly any of your drawing done.
Yeah.
And maybe we're just still learning and there's another way to do
That's that's
the alcohol
possible.
markers a whole lot easier.
Um.
With the paint, it was nice to be able to throw it down, blend it, and really quick talking about throwing down and blending it. The thing that I love about yours the most that just really draws my attention to it is your mask.
Yeah.
You were able to blend your paint and your purple so well together, and it has like a flow to it. It has a cloth look to it, and it just looks really great. Let's talk about what you like in your picture. What are some of the things that you really really like about it?
Oh my goodness. I
What
would
picture?
have to agree with you. One of my favorite pieces of my drawing is the mask. Actually, really, realistically, like his head up. I just feel like that come together. It was just. I felt like I got so much texture and depth in that area.
Yeah,
Um, Not that I didn't do a well job throughout the rest of it. That's the part that I love the most.
and it is the focal point.
The eyes, the
Mhm.
face. I felt like that really captured the original Ninja Turtle.
Yes, I agree. I
You
totally
know,
agree.
and but with the new school twist.
Right.
You know, and that's what I wanted to accomplish, was that I wanted that twist on a nostalgic cartoon, and I feel like that's probably why I feel like that is my most favorite part of my whole
Mhm.
drawing. And I mean, I don't know, I just have fun with it.
Yeah.
I don't um I don't know. I just that's where I thought I had the most fun with it, and that's what I like the most. I like the little highlights that I put in the mask. Now that's something I will say, I struggled with that
Mhm.
a little bit, because I started with my highlights, but they didn't really seem to pop until I started putting in that contrast with the darker colors.
Yeah, yeah.
So that took me a minute, but we'll get into that.
Hmm.
Do you Did you have any trouble with the acrylic paints? I know
So
you like paint, so it's
I do like paint, and I will say that we do use a very affordable acrylic paint. So that being said, in just my experience that I have with other acrylic paints, this stuff does not blend very easily. It's very loose. Um, it is fine to do, little stuff like this, but it's yeah, very affordable. Um, so it is a bit more difficult to work with. So there were those moments in here, especially on my turtle's cheek, where I just wanted it to blend and like I just couldn't get it and I couldn't get that right color. And then I was just thinking, like, it's fine. It looks good. Let me just leave it there. Um, I notice a lot with this acrylic paint. It's nice to loosen it up a little bit more with water, and I feel like it spreads and can blend a bit better with it. But really that's about the only challenge overcoming thing that I had to do was just working with this brand of acrylic paint again. I mentioned it to Adam because you kind of struggled with the same things. Yeah.
yeah,
With the blending and stuff.
yes, I did.
And
In fact, I was quite frustrated with it.
mhm.
But that's one thing I did notice, like you had said, if you really dilute it with water,
Yeah. Yeah.
then it made blending a lot easier.
Yeah. Right.
And so, like the first night that I was painting, I was able to get blends better because I think I was
Mhm.
diluting with a little bit more water.
Right. And
Yeah,
and it's not even really blending, it's getting a gradients
yeah,
between
getting
the two
gradient
colors.
and and
Mhm.
and getting that fade. Well,
Yeah.
gradient, geez,
Yeah.
criminy. Yeah, getting that gradient from dark to light or light to dark.
Mhm.
And I struggle with something, and that is I don't like brush strokes,
Yeah.
which I understand fully that we are working with paint and
Yeah.
paint brushes,
But this
but
stuff
I cannot stand brush strokes.
mhm.
So that's going to sound funny to a lot of people because you're like, hey, idiot,
It's paint.
it's paint.
Yeah.
You're painting with
But
brushes.
this stuff specifically, it's very hard not to have a bunch of teeny tiny little brush
I know,
strokes.
and it drives me
Yeah.
freaking
Yeah.
crazy. I just want that smooth. Like
Mhm.
when I'll go back to alcohol markers because I'm sorry, there's nothing that blends better.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll
Yeah.
be upfront and honest about that.
Yeah. It's very
It,
smooth.
you can, once you learn how to get those marker strokes out of there, it looks flawless.
Yeah.
And that is a struggle that I have working from medium to medium to medium is wrapping my head around the fact that,
Hmm.
hey, this isn't going to be like this medium.
Right.
And it's not going to be like this medium. It has its limitations
Mhm.
and you have to work within those
Yeah.
limitations.
Yeah.
Moving on from that, how did you feel about the color palette?
Oh, I really love the color palette. I don't think that there could have been a more perfect color palette for this
Do you
design.
Was you a little scared though, working in just a cool color palette, knowing that
No, because we haven't
some turtles have brighter colors?
right, but we haven't done a cool color palette yet. This is our first cool color palette, right? Yeah, I believe so.
I thought
We did the blue monochrome,
yeah,
but this is our first cool color palette.
maybe so.
So
I
I
don't
was
know.
I was pretty stoked about it to
I
have a
didn't even
little
think
bit of
about that.
purple, some green, some blues, my freaking frockin' favorite colors,
Right.
So I loved it. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, I thought the cool color palette. I struggled a little bit with the pizza. I'm not gonna lie. 'Cause
Right.
I'm
Well,
just
it's
like,
it's pizza and it's
guys,
mhm,
I just, man, it's pizza. It's
yeah,
supposed to have those yellow
right.
tones, the red pepperonis, and But I had to stick with the challenge, and
Yeah.
the challenge was a cool color palette. So I did a twist on pepperoni pizza.
Mhm.
So my pepperonis are purple, and my cheese is purple, and my crust is purple. So
I
I
like a
mean,
purple crust.
yeah, you know, not saying I would ever eat it in real life, but it's kind of like green
Right.
ketchup.
Right.
I don't know if you ever got to try green ketchup.
I've never had green ketchup.
Tastes just like red ketchup, but there's something displeasing about it.
Wow.
How did you feel about the medium? I mean, do you feel like the medium was appropriate for this?
Well, oh yeah, I love that we're doing new school and acrylic paint. It'd be fun to do new school and, something different like graphite pencil. But
I say that every week about
yeah,
graphite pencil, but
right. one
we
day.
can't ever get the dice to land on a number 6.
Correct.
So maybe we redo the list and put graphite pencil
You
in a
know we'll
different
never
area.
roll it. You know we never will. Yeah. I haven't drawn with pencils in forever, and that's my favorite
We could
my
flip
favorite
flop
one.
colored pencil and pencil.
Yeah, we might do that. We might do that. Anyways, yeah, it was really fun to work with paint again, and I just think this is such a fun challenge
Yeah.
to work with acrylic paint.
Yeah, I thought it was a perfect
Mhm.
challenge to work with it again. It was odd that it was new school and acrylic again, like we'd stated in the beginning, but
Right.
hey, it is what it is. What about collaboration? We collaborated a little bit this week.
Yeah, we did do it a little bit this week. So for Adam really helped me, like I had mentioned with before my background, push a little bit more dark back there, and I feel like that advice really brought my little Mr. Padawan turtle forward a bit more.
Yeah.
It added more contrast, a little bit more depth to the background. Um,
Like you stated, I thought it was crazy. I was like, hey, you need to probably, what do you think about adding those highlights?
the
on
ripples, and I
on
was
the
like, I'm
ripples?
doing it right now.
That was
I was
crazy.
literally doing
I was
it right
like,
now.
all right.
Yeah,
That's
that was really
insane.
cool. That was really cool that both of us kind of snapped that idea into place at once. You also assisted me and told me like maybe around the outside of my lightsaber, just glow it up a little bit
Yeah.
more. I was like, I really don't know how to do that, because with this paint, I tried at one point to add a little bit more shine from the lightsaber, and I didn't like it. It didn't look good, but um, I added just a little bit on the outside of it. I was like, that's cool. That works good. I also had the lightsaber handle as blue,
Mm.
and then I don't like it too much blue. It kind of just added a little bit more separation there. But yeah,
Did you find that collaboration was helpful this week?
I did. Yeah. How about you?
Oh yeah. We I was my time constraints, and I was talking to Jordan yesterday about it, and I was like, man, I just don't know what to do with the background. She's like, dude, you got the graffiti, you had to do a brick wall.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, brick wall could
It
be
was
good.
it was kind of funny because Adam's talking, and he's still talking, and I'm like, dude, do a brick wall, and he's still talking. I'm like, dude, do a brick wall. And he's still talking. And I'm like, Adam, do you hear me? He's like, wait, what? And I was like, Adam, dude, you gotta do a brick wall back there. That would look so sick. And you're like, oh yeah.
And then I went from, oh yeah, brick wall, that'd be great, to Jordan,
How do I do that?
that's gonna take forever.
Right.
And she's like, no, 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 no. She's like, just give the illusion that it's a
Right.
brick
Yeah.
wall.
Yeah.
And you
Just put that idea in there that it's a brick wall.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is just add a little tiny bit. Do
Yeah.
not go brick for brick,
Yeah, because I was thinking brick for brick. I was going, freaking like, okay, yeah, I like the idea, but holy crap, this is
Yeah.
gonna take me
Right.
forever.
Right.
I'm gonna be up to 10 o'clock the next morning working on
Yeah.
this. Trying to get every brick in here, because I'm, stickler about making sure things are straight and
Mhm.
this, that, and the other. But yeah, so, excellent, excellent collab on the brick wall. You helped me with a few color choices, because I was
Mhm.
like, I was struggling with the color of the shell, and I was struggling with the color of his belly, and
Mhm.
you're like, just go in there with some blue.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
but you did blue on yours. Is that gonna bother you? You're like, no, just do the
was like-
blue,
It
man.
was like, it's a cool color palette, Adam. Dude, do the blue.
And I really super struggle with the pizza. Like I called Jordan. I'm like,
yeah, that I would have struggled with that one too.
I'm like, Jordan,
because-
I don't know about the pizza. I'm like, part of me's like, screw the challenge, just do the pizza.
Yeah.
Like the pizza should be done.
Well, it's kind of that gray area, well, not even really gray. It's that hard area of, would you have done a new school turtle in cool colors, or would you have just done Donatello? You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
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 It
So-
is learning that finesse of doing the cool color palette and doing the thing, with the exception of, there are some accents. I just remembered that we did a cool color palette in the hand.
That's what it was.
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
done a cool color palette before.
Anyway, so I was talking to her. She's like, Adam, just do the pizza in purple.
Yeah, that's
She's like,
that's
just
what
do
I
the
would do.
pizza in purple.
Right.
It'd be great. It'd be fine. Quit freaking out over it. Just just get it done, man.
Right.
Yeah. And so, absolutely, I found this week's collaboration very helpful, as I do every week. I think we both bounced some tremendous ideas off each other.
Yeah.
You
Just
know,
some ideas that helped
I would be so lost
make
without
it.
being able to collaborate with you
Oh,
or
yeah.
a few other people. I mean, it's just, well, it just makes a difference,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So, uh, you know, oh, I guess this is where we've discussed that we want to start a new segment.
Oh yeah, with the out with the old and in with the new.
And this segment is going to be where we discuss the newest dice challenge and what our initial thoughts are and what we're thinking currently.
Yeah, so we just rolled this right before we started the podcast. We rolled a video game character in fantasy illustration, thank goodness,
Mm-hmm.
and black and white and watercolors. So that's going to be really cool using black and white with watercolors. And Adam and I, we made a previous agreement that whenever we get video game character, Adam wants to do Link from Zelda, or I want to do Kratos from God of War. And we actually rolled the
We
D20
did.
for it. Above 10, Adam got to choose, and then below 10, I got to choose. And I think it rolled a 14.
Yep.
And so we're doing Link from Zelda. And yeah, how do you feel about it? Are you really excited for it?
Dude, I'm so stoked.
I'm pretty stoked about it too.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a cool design.
We've been waiting on the video game character since the moment we put it on the sheet.
Yeah.
So I'm a huge Zelda fan. I've played nearly every single one of them that's ever come out. So, ever since I was a kid, I've been playing this game.
Yeah. It's
Um,
going to be another relatable challenge that we're both really
Yes,
looking forward to.
yes.
Yeah.
The downfall to it is going to be time,
Right.
because there's some pretty cool stuff that we can come up with and do, but time is going to be of the essence on this one. What about you?
I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, I think it's going to be cool. It'll
Got
be
any
cool again to
ideas?
work with watercolor. I have no ideas yet. I know that I kind of want to do another scene again.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know, it's fantasy illustration, so you can really pump that up. We'll explain to you guys later on in the future what fantasy illustration is. And just come back and check it out next Wednesday at November 19th at 5 p.m. on Parlor Number 13's Facebook page.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, I think that's it for today.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in to Talk Parlor Number 13, where we discuss how we went head to head and we put our creations up for your guys' vote.
Be sure to follow us on Facebook at Parlor Number 13 by JNA, as well as Instagram, and Talk Parlor Number 13 on YouTube and all of your favorite podcasting platforms.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment with all your thoughts. Choose your favorite artwork. As usual, we keep the creativity flowing. We let our inspiration soar, and together we create, we inspire, and we transform art into a journey.
A journey.
And as always, wherever you're at,
Be safe.